Hi, my name is Iris. I hope that you are doing very well. If you are new here, welcome. This channel is all about faith-based content. So we are already in the month of February, and clearly it's a new year. Um, to me, it's like it amazes me that we're already in February. Like, how do you feel about it? How are you doing? Are you doing good? Are you like, I don't know how I feel um, that we're already in February? Like, how are you doing? I really want to know. Please let me know in the comments section below. So, we know that with every single new year, there are dreams and goals that we want to accomplish, right? Like, there are so many. Um, and if you don't have any, or there's none coming off, at the top of your head, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Um, and if you already have some of your dreams and your goals like written down and already on that vision board, and you're praying for them every single day and working on them every single day, then I'm happy for you. So, but if you don't, then it's fine. That's what I'm going to be focusing on or talking about today, like vision boards. But last year, what I decided to do is like a poster board. So it looks like this. It's pretty big. I showed it like plenty of times on my past videos because it used to be like my background. But now, what I'm going to begin to do is put it on this board because I don't think I didn't want to do it like this every single year because I'm like, where am I gonna have space or room to actually like put it away? It's gonna be like causing more clutter, right? But with the board, what I can do is like paste all of the things on here, and then when I'm done, I'll just take a picture of it, save it so it's saved on my my camera roll. And then when I'm done with it, every single year, I'm gonna take this stuff out and then, insert new things on there. But I mean, like with this type of board, I can't because I glue everything on there, right? So, so that's why I decided to switch it this year to this kind of board. So, there are a couple of things that we need to do or keep in mind when doing these dreams and when we're jotting down and writing down and trying to put our dreams and goals on a piece of paper, on your iPad, on your phone, on a board. So the first one is that we need to pray, right? And ask God to reveal to us what is it that he wants us to do, or what is it that he's going to be giving us this year. Because we can put a whole bunch of stuff on our poster board, right? But then God could be like, hey, you know what? You're not ready for this, or it's not time for this. And that could be for like many different reasons. Maybe he's trying to heal your heart. Maybe you need a little bit more preparation or it could be like a number of different things, right? Maybe you want to go on a trip, but God is saying like, hey, I understand that you want to go on a trip, but this year I really need you to focus on learning how to save money, right? So that's why it's very important that we go before the Lord and say, God, these are my dreams, these are my goals. What exactly do you want me to do? What is your will for my life this year? And on your alone time, go ahead and read Jeremiah 29:11. It basically says that God has plans for us, right? And in order for God to reveal those plans to us, we got to go before the Lord and tell him and ask him, Lord, what are the plans that you have for me? So that's why I'm telling you to take that time to actually pray. And the other thing that I'm going to share is what my Bible study leader and friend, her name is Kelly, she shared this with us on a well, we get together on Thursdays, right? And we do Bible study. So she gave us like a list, like 5 categories that will help us build or will help us like write down what exactly we need to be focusing on every single year, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you. I got my iPad here. So the first thing, or the first area, is the spiritual area. And this is basically like your relationship with God. How is your relationship with God? What are you lacking in your relationship with God? And so many things can go in here, right? Like, for example, have you been doing your devotional? Are you reading your word? Are you memorizing scripture? How often are you praying, right? Like, if you're not doing those things, then it's time to just like focus on two of those things. Maybe like worship music, right? You stop listening to worship music and you want to get back into the rhythm, right, of actually of praising God, right? Then you can start with that. So for me, what I decided to do is worship music. I haven't listened to worship music like how I used to, like, in a long time. So what I started to do is like, okay, I'm gonna try to wake up, or I'm gonna try to put worship music in my house, right? Because it's something that's very important that we really need to do. The second thing that I decided that I wanted to choose from this category is read my word and do my devotional, right? Along with praying. So it's more like three things. But just, I would recommend that you choose two, and just don't try to overwhelm yourself, and just ask God, what is it exactly that you want me to focus on in my area with you, in my relationship with you. Like, what is it? Like, tell him to pinpoint those two areas. The second one is your personal life, right? So God has called us to, to share the gospel and to share Jesus, and with the entire world, right? But if we're not right with God, then it's going to be very difficult for us to do that. So in this area in your life, it's important that you go before the Lord and that you take your heart to him, and tell him to begin to heal whatever is in your heart, that he begins to do like a genuine transformation within you, right? That you're not just going to church just to go to church, that you're not just opening up your word. Okay, I memorized scripture, check. Okay, you prayed, right? But it was like a really quick prayer, and it's basically like you're just trying to check things off the box, right? But I mean, like, what God really wants from you is your heart, and he really wants to transform it, right? So in this area, we really need to be very vulnerable. We need to be very vulnerable for the Lord, right? Before the Lord. Because there's some things, or at least for me, I know that there's some things in my heart that I want him to heal, because sometimes it gets in the way of my relationship with my siblings or my parents, or even with friends, right? So I'm like, God, I gotta get right with you, begin to heal and, transform, my heart, and begin to reveal to me what really is in there, So that goes under the category of your life. So the third one is my family. That's the third category. And for me, like, my family members, they know of God. Some of them aren't believers. Some of them don't go to church. The majority don't go to church. And I really want my family members to come and, to know God and to serve God, right? So that's one thing that I'm going to be focusing on this year. Like, I'm going to be praying for that. And the other thing is that, I mean, Jesus did not come here to create, or he didn't create religion, right? He created communion, or a relationship. So instead of just like going to, my family members or even people and just saying, it's basically like following Jesus's example. He spent time with people. He valued people, It wasn't like, he didn't go like, here's my word, here you go, do it, like he ate with people, he ate with sinners. So that's what I want to try to do, like really really value my family, and the family that God has given me, and the time that God has given me with my family members. I don't want to take this for granted, and I definitely want them to be to feel comfortable around me, even though like right now I am the only believer, but I don't want to turn this whole situation or my relationship with them. I don't want them to view me as somebody who's religious, right? Like, because Jesus wasn't about that, right? That was the Pharisees, and I think the Sadducees. That was them. You got to do this. You got to follow this. Like no. And sometimes even without our words and without our testimonies, like our actions say a lot about us, right? Even without us opening up our mouths and you know telling people about Jesus. So that's what I really want my family to come to know the Lord, and I really want to value my family, and take care of what he has given me in this area. And under family, what else can go under there is, like, if you're married, like, tell God to strengthen your relationship for him. If you want to see breakthrough in your marriage, right? Maybe you're having problems with communication or really understanding one another. Maybe you guys are like arguing or fighting all the time. Or maybe he's going through depression and you don't know what to do, or just take that to the Lord and say, God, I want you to fix my marriage, like heal him, heal me. And another thing that Kelly put on here was that, like, okay, basically, like, begin to spark that fire, back inside inside of your guys' lives, that passion. Like, maybe you guys haven't had like date nights in a while, you guys haven't hung out in a while because of work, or maybe you have kids or whatever the case may be. Like, begin to just like be intentional about spending time with each other. So a lot of things can go in this category, especially if you also have children, like something else could be like, if you want to start doing like a devotional, start like a family devotional, or sit down on a Tuesday, on a Friday, and just begin to gather your children and your husband, right? And where you guys are just praying, right? Praying for each other, praying for others, or where you guys could be like worshiping and praising God together, right? That could be something else. Like I said, a lot of things can go into these sections, but it's important that you begin to ask God, okay, God, like, what do you want me to do in this area? What should I focus on this area? Or like, God, I have this desire, for this area. Like, this is what I would like to do, So the fourth one is your calling. So God has given us all talents and gifts that he wants us to use for his kingdom. And if you don't know what your calling is, or what God has put you on this earth to do, then it's important that you go before the Lord and say, hey, God, I've heard that you have deposited some talents. I've heard that you have given us some gifts, but I feel like I have none, or reveal to me what exactly is my calling. What exactly do you want me to do? And if you do know your calling and what you're supposed to be doing, then ask God to give you the courage and the strength, and the wisdom to continue to do what he has called you to do. It. Or maybe you do know your calling and you're like, God, this is scary, I kind of don't want to do what you're calling me to do. Then again, it's important, go before the Lord and say, hey, Lord, I need you to transform my heart. I need you to help me to say yes to you, for me to desire your will over my will, so you take that before the Lord. And a bunch of things can go into this area, like how I've been mentioning, like maybe God wants you to open up a Bible study, right? Or maybe you're going to school or you're going to work and people don't know that you're a believer, and maybe God is like nudging you or pushing you to like lead this person to Christ, you know. Or maybe it's the time where God is saying like, hey, you know what, invite this person to church, like, or Bible study. So yeah, that's it for my calling. So the fifth and the last one would be business or education, right? And one thing that that Kelly put on here was that there were many people in the Bible who had businesses, who were kings, God, you know, like God appointed kings, administrators. Like if we look at the life of Joseph, like there were women in the Bible that also had businesses. Like look at Esther, she was like a queen. Like so if you have the desire, if you want to open up a business, okay, what is it? What type of business do you want to open up? Maybe it's like a cosmetology, or you have a lipstick line, right? And it's all organic and you want to put that out there. Or maybe you want to go into school, or education, right? You would like to be a teacher, you would like to be a professor, maybe you want to be a social worker. And maybe you aren't in school right now, and what you're asking God for is that, Lord, like, please help me graduate. I've been there, okay? When I was in Sexy, I was like, Lord, please. That was one of my dreams, like a couple years back. I'm like, God, like, please, like, help me graduate. You know, this is tough. So maybe you're just trying to graduate, right? Whether it be from high school, whether it be from college, or you know, you want to go back to school, right? So you can also put that on there. And maybe you don't know how you're gonna do it financially, right? You don't have the money to go to school, and you're like, oh, like, this is something in my heart that I really want to do. I really want to go back to school, right? So say, hey God, your word says that you are my provider, that I don't gotta worry about nothing. I don't have to worry about the clothes, what clothes I'm gonna wear, anything, you know, like, you are my provider. So tell God, like, God, like, please provide financially. And there are so many things that I didn't get to cover in every single section. But remember, and I'm going to continue to say this, is that you have to pray and ask God, like, okay, God, begin to put these desires, you know, within me. Begin to put these dreams, these goals within me, you know, that you want me to accomplish for this year. And if there's something that you're saying, no, this is not going to be for this year, then help me understand that, and help me let go of that and focus on the things that truly matter. So, and it's not just about like putting these things on your vision board and then there, boom, you just left it there. Like, you have to continue praying for them, and you have to continue to work on them, right? So that's it for today's video. I thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments section below. I'm willing to answer whatever question you have, or help you in really digging deep into like these dreams or these goals for this year. Like, I'm willing to help you. Just please let me know if you need anything in the comments section below. And I will just see you in the next one, okay? Bye.